trust issues. Trust issues. Drives me crazy. Probably loves. Drives me crazy. Probably loves.
Gentlemen, very warm welcome to the Motor Point Arena. Great to see so many of you here. This is the weigh-in for Joshua Takam at the Principality Stadium tomorrow night, and live on Sky Sports Box Office. We'll be weighing in all fights over the course of the next half an hour or so, concluding, of course, with the top of the bill, Anthony Joshua against Carlos Takam. So without further ado, let's get underway. The first fight we will weigh in is 6 rounds in the light heavyweight division. Please welcome to the ring, first of all, a fighter whose record reads 18 fights, 10 wins, 6 defeats, and 2 draws. He joins us from Corbeil-Essonnes in France, Saidou Sal.
As long as I got you. Ask me what I did with my life. I spent it with you. If I lose my fame and fortune, really don't matter. As long as I got you, baby. Clap your hands, you're so right. Clap your hands, you're so right. Clap your hands, you're so right. As long as I got you, baby. Clap your hands, you're so right. Clap your hands, you're so right. Clap your hands, you're so right. As long as I got you.
1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so now time to meet the fighter who will be up against Saidou Sal. He was a Rio 2016 Olympian, winning a bronze medal. On Saturday, he takes part in his 3rd contest as a pro. 2 fights and 2 wins so far, both by way of knockout. Please welcome, from South London, Joshua Buatsi.
How the hell you get all that in them pants? How you drinking and you ain't got no glass? And how you came in here and you ain't got no man? What? Damn, to me you look perfect. Bend that ass over, let me see how you work it. Pop it and shake it, get on your knees, hit the dirt, girl. I go so deep in that while he just hitting the surface. What did you say? Drop it down on it. Make me get a couple bands, drop it down on it. Make you get a couple friends, drop it down on it. Turn around, drop it down on it. Do it for real, do it for a boss. Do something for a boss, do something for a
Joshua Buatsi weighs in 12 stone and 8 pounds. Thanks very much, gentlemen. 6 rounds of light heavyweight on Saturday night between Saidou Sal and Joshua Buatsi. So next up, ladies and gentlemen, a 6-round fight in the cruiserweight division. Please welcome to the scales another former GB star, another Rio 2016 Olympian who has made an excellent start to his pro career. 5 fights and 5 wins. 4 of those wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome from Hackney, East London, Lawrence Okoli.
That's too much sauce. Protect the leak, the plane with. That's too much sauce. Hermes in the aim. That's too much sauce. They let me know before I was famous. I had too much sauce. Audemars heel blow now. That's too much sauce. That's too much sauce. Got too much sauce. That's too much sauce. I got too much sauce. Protect the leak, the plane with. That's too much sauce. Got diamonds on all of my fingers. That's too much sauce.
Yeah, all of my diamonds, they shine. Haters like, knock that off. Yeah, all of your diamonds are fake. You need to stop that, dog. Stop that, dog. You really kissing that girl like she ain't Tommy, dog. Oh my God. Shaquille O'Neal with the haters, cause I'm blocking y'all. Yeah. That's too much sauce. Yeah.
Lawrence Okoli weighs in 14 stone and 5 pounds. On Saturday, he'll be up against Adam Williams of Manchester. Adam Williams will be weighing in a little bit later on this afternoon. So Lawrence Okoli, ladies and gentlemen, in a 6-round fight at cruiserweight on Saturday night. So next up, we weigh in our 2 fighters for our clash for the British light heavyweight title on Saturday. And first, we will meet the challenger. His record reads 10 fights and 10 wins, 4 of those wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome to the scales from South London, Spider Richards. Spider Richards weighs in 12 stone 5 pounds within the championship limit. And time now, ladies and gents, to meet the defending champion. On Saturday, he makes the 2nd defence of his British light heavyweight title. His record reads 23 fights, 20 wins, 2 defeats and 1 draw. 15 of those wins coming by way of knockout. From Enfield, it's the wise guy, Frank Dillian. Frank Dillian weighs in at 12 stone, 6.5 pounds within the championship limit. So we have a contest, ladies and gentlemen, on Saturday for the British title at light heavyweight. Thanks very much, gentlemen. Frank Dillian, the champion, Craig Richards, Spider Richards, the challenger for the British light heavyweight title on Saturday night.
title run. Frank, it's a big stage here, plenty of fans, little bit of a window into what you can expect tomorrow night. How excited are you to defend that British title in front of 78,000 people?
Yeah, really excited. The whole week has been a phenomenal experience for me. Come up on Wednesday, the public workout was a great atmosphere. The weigh-in as well, the press conference, every different venue. It's a really exciting time for me, and I feel like I'm on the big stage now. So it's a massive occasion. I'm ready to perform.
You've had the late change of opponent in Craig Spider Richards. How important is it that you're not looking past him onto bigger and better things?
No, not at all. This will be the third undefeated fighter I face defending my British title and fighting for the British title. So I'm leaving no stone unturned, and I want to do a really good number on Craig Richards. He's a good, solid fighter, but I expect my experience and my discipline to pull through and win convincingly.
He's stepping up to the light heavyweight division. Do you believe if you box to your best ability, you could stop him?
Without a doubt, yeah.
And what's next for you if you do?
I'd like to get my final defence in, my mandatory, whoever that may be, whether it be Callum Johnson or Jose Burton, and win it outright against... I'd lean towards Callum Johnson because then it'd be all undefeated fighters. I don't think it's ever been done before in British boxing history, so that'd be a first.
Thanks for talking to us and best of luck, Frank.
Pleasure, thank you.
Brilliant.
The WBA Super Flyweight title is on the line on Saturday night. So let's meet our challenger to that title. His record reads 24 fights and 24 wins. 13 of those wins coming within the scheduled distance. He's a former national champion. He's worked his way into the position of mandatory challenger. On Saturday, he boxes in the UK for the first time. Please welcome from Osaka in Japan, Sho Ishida. Sho Ishida weighs in 8 stone, 2.5 pounds, within the championship limit. So now time to meet the champion. On Saturday, he makes the second defense of his WBA Super Flyweight title. His record reads 22 fights and 22 wins, 14 of those wins coming by way of knockout. He is the former British and Commonwealth champion, the reigning and defending WBA Super Flyweight champion of the world. Please welcome from Birmingham, Kal Yafai.
Being on some chill. We go 0 to 100 quick, real quick. They be on that rap to pay the bills. And I don't feel that not even a little bit. Oh Lord, know yourself, know your worth. My actions being louder than my words. How you sold, I been still sold down to earth. Do it, we could do it on the turf. Oh Lord, I'm the rookie and the vet. Shout out to the I ain't holding down the set. All up in my phone looking at pictures from the other night. She gon' be upset if she keep scrolling to the left, dog. She gon' see some that she don't wanna see. She ain't ready for it. If I ain't the greatest, then I'm headed for it. Yeah, that mean I'm way up. Yeah, the 6 ain't friendly, but that's where I lay up. Lay up. I been staff
with the shot, been cooking with the sauce, Chef Curry with the pot, boy. 360 with the wrist, boy. Hey, who is boy?
Kal Yafai weighs in 8 stone, 2.5 pounds within the championship limit. So we have a fight, ladies and gentlemen, for the WBA super flyweight title. Thanks very much, gentlemen. Kal Yafai up against Sho Ishida for the WBA super flyweight title on Saturday. So Cardiff, time now for a fight, a contest involving one of your very own. 8 rounds at lightweight. First of all, please welcome to the scales, coming to us from Barcelona. His record reads 11 fights, 3 wins and 8 defeats. Let's hear it for Lester Cantillano. Lester Cantillano weighs in 9 stone, 6 pounds. So Cardiff, time now to welcome a fighter who was an amateur with the GB setup, was a Rio 2016 Olympian, a 2015 European champion. As a professional, his record is perfect. 4 fights, 4 wins, all of those wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome, straight out of Cardiff, it's the Wizard, Joe Cordina. Joe Cordina weighs in 9 stone, 8.5 pounds. Okay, thanks very much, Taps. Joe Cordina up against Lester Cantillano on Saturday night, 8 rounds of lightweight. So next up, ladies and gents, a 6-round contest at heavyweight. One of our fighters hasn't been able to make it to the scales on time, but one of them has. So let's give him a big welcome now. His record reads 16 fights, 12 wins, 3 defeats, and just the 1 draw. From Conisbrough, it's the White Rhino, David Allen.
That's what you're coming for, but they don't wanna let you in. You drop it back to the floor, you're asking what's happening. It's getting late now, hey now, enough of the arguments. She sips the Coca-Cola, she can't tell the difference yet. That's what you're coming for, but they don't wanna let you in. You drop it back to the floor.
David Allen weighs in 16 stone and 13 pounds. He'll be up against Scott Sayward over 6 rounds at heavyweight.
Sips of Coca-Cola. She can't tell the difference, eh? what you're coming for, but they don't wanna let you in. You drop your back to the floor. You're asking what's happening. It's getting late now, hey now. Enough of the arguments. She sips a Coca-Cola. She can't tell the difference yet.
I want your body, everybody wants your body, so let's check, let's check, 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 I want your body, everybody wants your body, so let's check. Let's check. I want your body, everybody wants your body, so let's check. Come on, let's check. I want your body, everybody wants your body, so let's check. Let's check. I want your body.
Very good afternoon and a warm welcome from the Motorpoint Arena here in Cardiff. A terrific atmosphere building up as we wait for some of the main protagonists to take to the scales ahead of what should be a fantastic night of blockbuster boxing at the Principality Stadium here in the Welsh capital. Around 4,000 here at the moment, but of course the best part of 80,000 there tomorrow night. Joining me, as usual, we've got the likes of Carl Froch and Matthew Macklin, who are here with me this afternoon. We'll be bringing you some of the top weigh-ins, including this one. It could be a show stealer as Dillian Whyte takes on Robert Helenius for the WBC Silver World Heavyweight title. But more importantly, it is effectively an eliminator for the WBC title held by Deontay Wilder. So a huge amount at stake for both of these fighters. Let's head to the stage itself and check out the announcements. One or two delays.
So, ladies and gents, into the heavyweight division we go, and a 12-round contest for the vacant WBC silver title, and the opportunity for the winner to take one step closer to a challenge to that green and gold belt. First of all, please welcome to the ring a fighter whose record reads 26 fights, 25 wins, and just one defeat. 16 of those wins coming by way of knockout. He is a former European champion, former WBA and WBO Intercontinental champion from Mariehamn in Finland. Please welcome the Nordic Nightmare, Robert Helenius.
No surprise that Robert Helenius is getting one or two boos from the very partisan crowd here, because Dillian Whyte, a very popular figure these days. But just to look at Robert Helenius, he is a big, big guy. 6 foot, 6.5 inches, the 33-year-old, former European champion, normally weighs in at around about 18.5 stone. And Carl, he is a big unit, this guy.
He is a big man mountain. Look at him here on the scales. I mean, tall, thick set, quite solid, and he's got bags and bags of experience as well at this level, so he won't be phased.
Well, he's weighing pretty heavy by the looks of things. We're waiting for the arrival now of Dillian Whyte.
The fighter who faces Helenius on Saturday night, his record reads 22 fights, 21 wins, and just one defeat. 16 of those wins coming within the scheduled distance. He's the former British champion, the current WBC international champion. It's the body snatcher from Brixton, Dillian Whyte.
Great reception for Dillian Whyte. As I said, very, very popular these days. And interestingly, a more mature side we've seen from Dillian Whyte over the last few days. Not phased by any of this, looking in pretty good shape as well, it has to be said, Matt Macklin.
Yeah, you know, he's a real character, and I think he's getting better and better. He's improved, certainly in his last few fights, I've seen improvements in him. Really good body puncher, especially for a heavyweight. And you know what? There's a lot of talk on social media about the fight with Deontay Wilder, a bit of trash talk. You see Lou DiBella there saying that he doesn't deserve it. He's not on that league. He's done nothing to deserve it. He's only had that. His most significant performance was his last to AJ. But, you know, that was a good fight against Anthony Joshua. And Anthony Joshua is the kind of #1 star now in the heavyweight division. And Helenius is it's a good fight. It's a tough fight for him, really. You know, Helenius has a lot of experience. He has that win over Derek Chisora. We thought Chisora was unlucky, should have got the decision. But you know what, Chisora and Dillian Whyte, some people thought Chisora deserved it against Whyte. So I think it's a really good fight. I think it's going to be another good learning fight for Dillian. I think he wins the fight, but I think he'll have a few problems by Helenius.
Last chance for them to have a look at each other. A bit of a difference in height, 3.5 inches. Dillian Whyte is shorter. Will that make that much of a difference, Carl, as far as this fight's concerned, do you think?
Well, it's always good to have height and reach in boxing. It is an advantage, but, you know, Mike Tyson wasn't really that tall and he got the job done, didn't he? So you can't say it's everything, but Helenius, with his experience and with the range, this fight could be interesting. I'm expecting Dillian Whyte to do the job, but this is potentially a tough opponent for him.
Nice to see a handshake, 1 or 2 words being held. Dillian Whyte holds aloft the prize, the WBC silver title. That's what he wants to go for, but far more importantly, he wants to be in there, in the mix, as far as the top heavyweights are concerned. Fingers crossed we'll be speaking to Dillian very, very shortly. He's on stage, joined by my colleague, Andy Scott.
Dillian, you've weighed in, that vacant WBC silver title's on the line, a chance to fight Deontay Wilder if you come through this. Just how confident are you?
Listen, I trained hard, I worked hard. As you can see, I came in 17.9, which is quite light. My last fight I came in, I think 18 stone 6, so I've been grafting. My weight alone tells the story, you know what I mean? I'm confident, looking forward to it. I can't wait to get in there and have it, man.
What about this reception you got from this Cardiff crowd?
I love you guys all, thank you very much.
Robert Helenius, what do you know about him? How highly do you rate him? What have you got to do to beat him?
He's a good fighter, strong guy, good boxing, you know, he does all the basics well, but I just believe I have the stuff, I have the Shazam. I have the stuff, you know what I mean? I'm one of those fighters, I find a way. Whichever way, whether it's boxing or fighting him, whatever, I'll find a way. You know what I mean? I got good boxing skills, but as you guys know, I love to fight, so I got a chance of using the boxing skills while fighting him.
If you show your best, do you think you could stop him?
Of course. The stoppage is always on my mind, but I'm not going to go out there and look for it, because this is one of those important fights I need to be careful in and be smart in. But listen, I say this now and the first bell goes and it kicks off, so we'll see.
You've boxed on the big stage before, but nothing quite like a 75,000 stadium. Are you prepared for that?
You're never prepared for this, are you? You know what I mean? But one thing I've learned lately is I got more experience and more relaxed. So, like, in the fights I've had, in the past I've had big fights where I haven't really enjoyed the occasion. I've been too aggressive and too pumped up. Now I just enjoy the occasion, I enjoy everything, the build up. I'm much more relaxed, I'm much more confident with myself, and I know I can go the distance, so I'm easy.
If you can come through this and look good doing it, are you ready to box for the heavyweight title next?
You're never ready to box a heavyweight title, man, but, you know, we'll see, man. I hopefully we can get the fight made. I won the fight, I've been chasing the fight, but, you know, it's one of those ones where not until you box for it and win it, then you realize what you've really done, you know what I mean? You think, yeah, I'm ready, but when you box for it and win it, then you realize what you've achieved and what you've done, you know?
Just finally, what's your prediction for everyone here?
Pain! Nah, joking.
Brilliant, best of luck.
Well, Dillian Whyte, calm and collected and ready to go here in Cardiff. He's weighed in for his fight against Robert Helenius. Join us very, very soon, because Katie Taylor will be the next on the scales. Welcome back to the Motorpoint Arena here in Cardiff. Now it is time for the Golden Girl, Katie Taylor, to take to the scales. So many medals in an illustrious career so far. This is her first opportunity to fight for a world title. Let's once again head back to the stage and rejoin our MC.
The women's WBA lightweight title is on the line on Saturday night. So first of all, let's meet the challenger. As an amateur, she did it all, winning Olympic gold, 5 world titles, one of the best fighters of her generation. As a professional, she is 6-0 with 4 knockouts. Please welcome from Bray in Ireland, Katie Taylor.
Matthew Macklin, Olympic gold in 2012, 5 World Championship golds, 5 European golds. It's no stretch to say that she truly is the Golden Girl.
Oh, without a doubt. You know, she's had a sensational amateur career, you know, and now within a year of her making her pro debut, she's fighting for the World Championship, and you know, she's the hopes of a nation on her shoulders, and I'm absolutely confident that she will deliver.
Only her 7th professional fight, but given, as I mentioned, all that amateur experience, every test she's had as a professional, she's passed with flying colours.
Yeah, flying colours, and like you say, she's so experienced in her amateur career. She had a very extensive amateur career, won everything over and, you know, many times over. Boxed in 2 Olympic Games, won the gold in London. You know, now within a year of turning professional, she's fighting for the world title, and she's so experienced from her amateur days. Her skill level is so high. You know, I've no doubt that she'll have no problems at all tomorrow, and I would expect her to become world champion.
Here she goes, getting on the scales. Let's see what the conversion is.
8.5 pounds within the championship limit.
Inside 9 stone 9, just about, very nicely, done it well. How impressed have you been, Carl, with the rise and rise of Katie Taylor?
Yeah, very impressed. Just inside the weight there, just shows what a professional she is. She does everything correct, doesn't she? What I like most about Katie Taylor is the fact that she likes to fight, even when she doesn't have to. You know, she could box and jab and move and see it through to the points decision and just, you know, make it easier for herself. But she always seems to go for that grandstand finish. I don't know how her coach feels about that, but she really is an entertainer. So I like that side to her.
Sanchez.
Here comes the champion from Argentina. 17 wins, 2 defeats in her 19 fights so far. 9 by KO, those victories. 1 KO defeat to her credit so far. 26 years of age, and this is the first defense of her title. Now let's see how she weighs in as she takes to the scales. 9 stone 9, the lightweight limit. And let's see how we go. Now, I think there may be a problem here. She may well be slightly over by the looks of things.
9 stone and 10 pounds, so she is over the championship.
Well, there you go, 9 stone, 10 pounds, so she is a pound over the limit. So there you go, Matt, that's a surprise. The champion coming in heavy, she's now got 2 hours in which to lose that weight.
Yeah, that's a surprise. You know, we thought, you know, she'd be bang on, but yeah, a pound over, so 2 hours. You know, it's doable. It's only a pound, but it depends how, if she already had to cut weight this morning, last night, you know, how tight is she at the weight? You know, maybe it's just been unprofessional and she's used the wrong set of scales. Without knowing the facts, it's hard to say, but you know, she's got 2 hours to lose a pound. You know, she should be able to do that.
Just to clarify, as far as the rules are concerned, if after 2 hours the champion is unable to make the weight, then the title effectively becomes vacant. There will have to be talks between the 2 camps, the governing bodies, etc., to decide whether or not the fight can still go ahead. If it does go ahead, only Katie Taylor can win the title if she wins the fight. Otherwise, it becomes vacant.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'd expect her to get the pound off. If she doesn't, then I would be shocked if the fight didn't go ahead. I'm sure the fight would still happen. They'd come to some sort of arrangement. Maybe she'd have to pay a fine. I'm not sure what would happen exactly, but no, I've no doubt Katie Taylor will still be fighting for the world title tomorrow, and we expect her to win it.
Okay, Katie Taylor is heading across to have a word with my colleague Andy Scott very shortly as she just gets herself ready once more. But something of a surprise here in Cardiff because the champion has weighed in a pound heavy. Let's show you what Katie Taylor's reaction to that is with Andy Scott.
Katie, less than a year since you turned professional, it's your first world title challenge. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm definitely more than ready. I can't wait to get in there tomorrow night, and I had a good long camp under my belt for this fight, and I'm stronger than ever and fitter than ever, and I can't wait to show that tomorrow evening.
Is it a distraction at all that the champion Anahi Sanchez has weighed in over the limit?
No, that doesn't bother me at all. I'm just completely focused on my performance. I made the weight, so I feel good. My mind is just purely on this fight tomorrow evening, and it's up to her to get the weight off.
What sort of performance do you need to produce tomorrow to win that belt?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be my toughest test to date. I'm expecting a tough 10-round challenge, but I'm ready for it. There's going to be no surprises tomorrow evening. I'm ready for whatever comes my way tomorrow evening.
You reached the very top of the amateur game. What would it mean to you to become world champion as a pro?
This is definitely my biggest night of my career so far tomorrow evening, and it would mean I can't even express in words how much this will mean to me tomorrow evening. So I can't wait to get in there, and it's an absolute privilege to be boxing on such a big card again in front of the great card of crowds. So I can't wait.
Brilliant. What's your final prediction?
Yeah, well, I'm obviously confident I'm going to come out victorious. So I'm not very good at making predictions, but I'm more than ready for this fight tomorrow.
Best of luck, Katie.
So the clock is ticking for Anahi Sanchez. She has 2 hours to lose a pound for that fight to go ahead. But join us again soon. It's going to be the main event.
So that just leaves the weigh-in for the main event, ladies and gentlemen. Anthony Joshua against Carlos Takam. That will be with us in just a few minutes' time. And for that overseas proceedings, I shall hand over to Mr. Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are just a few moments away from the official weigh-in. At this time, I would like to gratefully acknowledge our loyal and supportive sponsors, and they are William Hill, StubHub, and JD Sports. Just a few more moments to go to our main event weigh-in.
Now we don't need therapy. What I need to live.
Very good afternoon and welcome back to Cardiff once again. A terrific atmosphere building here at the Motorpoint Arena ahead of the main event weigh-in. 4,000 people packed into this venue, all eager to see Anthony Joshua on the scales ahead of the next chapter in his heavyweight career. Joining me here on the stage, I've got two former world champions in Carl Froch and Johnny Nelson. And in terms of this weigh-in here, and in terms of all the excitement that Anthony Joshua generates, we're going to have to get used to this now, aren't we? Stadium fights, stadiums almost for the weigh-in. It's just another mark in the chapter of what is an incredible story, Carl.
Yeah, wherever he goes, he demands massive crowds. We've seen it up and down the country. And he's probably going to go over to America at some stage because I think he needs to sort of captivate that market as well. I'm sure he will. But what, 4,000 here for a weigh-in? We just seen him on the big screen there and the crowd went mad. I mean, what's he done to deserve this kind of accolade? I mean, he's a big, lovable guy, he's an unbeaten champion, and he climbed off the floor in his last fight, so he's really warm to the people. You know, the people are warm to him, and he's won the hearts of the general public, not just the boxing fan. And an AJ event is just that, it's an event. I mean, people come to see a fight, they want to see the boxing match, but this is more of an event, and it's fantastic. I fought for the British title in front of 2,000 people. There's 4,000 here for a weigh-in in Cardiff, miles away from where he lives. He's got that big, but it's exciting times.
Carl makes a good point, doesn't he, about maybe breaking into the American market, although he seems to be doing that from the UK. And given the size of the crowds here, surely Deontay Wilder has to be tempted to come over here at some point.
I think Anthony Joshua is the biggest star in boxing today. You think when he boxed Vladimir Klitschko, he had two massive American networks come over for that fight. Non-American was in sight in the ring. You've got the American networks here. They're in sight for Anthony Joshua. Everybody wants to come to the UK to watch the big fights. It's like the AJ show. Initially, when this fight was announced, Anthony Joshua against Kubrat Pulev, tickets sold out instantly. Then the opponent had changed. It made no difference. They've come to see Anthony Joshua. So I'd say a majority of them know they're boxing, they know they're inside out. But a lot of them, they're Anthony Joshua fans. Even at the official workout the other day, it was like Elvis was in the building. The women were going absolutely crazy for this guy. And Anthony, 27 years old, feet firmly on the ground, he's thinking, you know what? He's laughing and enjoying it with his friends. He's very approachable, and I think that's what it is. That's what people get about him. They think, I like him, I get him. And he can actually fight, and that's what's most important. He can back up the boast.
How much is that helping him, Carl? Do you think the fact that he's keeping his feet on the ground, he lives at home with his mum a lot of the time, when he's training he's up in Sheffield, he's effectively in student digs. So none of the riches or trappings that you might expect to necessarily see from a heavyweight champion, that is helping him keep his feet on the ground and helping him keep it real as far as his boxing is concerned.
100%. I think a big part of that massive influence will be his coach, Rob McCracken. I worked for my whole professional career with Rob, and you know, I became a world champion, and to him it didn't matter. And then I defended the world title, and I entered the tournament, the Super Six, and went on and on. And Robert is so down to earth and so grounded. He's got no ego whatsoever. He hates the camera, and that rubs off on Joshua, rubs off on his students around him. So Joshua will just be down to business, very matter of fact, every one fight at a time, down to business. And we talk about his late opponent change. It's not ideal. Now, you know, he's fighting Takam instead of his original opponent, but people talk about, oh, this late change, is it going to be a problem? Is Pulev not turning up now because he's taller and bigger? Is that going to be a problem? But I'll tell you now, because Rob McCracken's in his corner and advising him, he'll just be methodical about it in his approach, and he'll just be strictly down to business. It's not ideal, but I'm expecting on the AJ show, a real big AJ show, I really am.
I asked Anthony yesterday, obviously during my interview, I said, are you the man with all the answers? He said, no, Robert McCracken is. I'm just a machine. He sticks a USB stick in me with all the instructions on, and I follow his program.
And it's that respect I like. It's that respect I get. I was with my trainer, Brendan Ingle, from the amateurs all the way to finishing. I respected every word he said. You look at Alex Ferguson, you look at the power, the influence, the respect he had from his players. You look at the relationship with Anthony Joshua and Rob McCracken. That is what you need. Because if you've got the man in the corner that you trust, and he says one thing, if he says jump, you say how high, you just jump, you just get on with it. Anthony Joshua believes in everything that Robert McCracken brings to him, and that respect is everything, and that's what gets him to the top. You've seen it with Carl Froch, you've seen it with Anthony Joshua, you'll see it on and on and on. It's most important with any fighter and any trainer.
Okay, thanks very much for the moment, gents. I think everybody is ready. We're all in place. Time to hand to the stage now on our MC, Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, and on this perfect and glorious day, here in Cardiff, Wales, we welcome you to the official weigh-in for the main event to be held tomorrow night at Principality Stadium. And it's all brought to you by Eddie Hearn for Matchroom Boxing, to be broadcast live around the world courtesy of Sky Sports Box Office and to the United States exclusively on Showtime. At this time, let's meet the fighters. Introducing first at this time, he comes to us from Noisy-le-Grand-Saint-Saint-Denis, France, a native of Cameroon, but now a proud citizen of France. He brings a professional record to the ring tomorrow night of 35 victories, 27 big wins by knockout. He has 3 defeats with 1 draw, and he's ranked number 3 in the world by the IBF. Ladies and gentlemen, mesdames et messieurs, please welcome Carlos Takam.
Here he comes, the contender. Johnny, you spent some time with him over in Paris not long ago when he was training. Cool as a cucumber. But here we go with the champion.
Olympic gold, and now as a professional, a perfect professional record. 19 fights, 19 victories, 19 wins by knockout. He is the heavyweight fighting pride of the United Kingdom. Ladies and gentlemen, the reigning, defending, undefeated, unified IBO, IBF, WBA heavyweight champion of the world, AJ Anthony Joshua.
And as you would expect, a terrific reception for the champion, who, as usual, looks calm, relaxed, ready to go. He looks like he could fight now.
Dancing away to Biggie Smalls. What else with AJ? He just looks relaxed, you're right. He looks the part, doesn't he? Big man giant.
Be interesting to see exactly how he comes in as far as the weight is concerned, because 17 stone 12 was Anthony Joshua's heaviest when he fought Vladimir Klitschko. As for Carlos Takam, his usual weight is around about 17.5 stone, thereabouts. So they'll be very similar as far as the weights are concerned. A lot was said about the possibility of AJ coming in light for this fight in order to lose a little bit of bulk and perhaps answer 1 or 2 questions about his longevity after he gassed out in that fight against Klitschko. Very nearly lost it as a result. So it'll be interesting to see what sort of changes have been made. But first of all, the challenger coming onto the scales. And as I say, you spent some time with it, Johnny. What do you make of Carlos Takam?
Carlos Takam has always been a viewer of Anthony Joshua from the day he won the world title. He approached Anthony Joshua and said, after Anthony Joshua boxed Brazil, and said, me and you are going to fight. He's in excellent condition considering he's had 12 days notice. He said he was fit anyway. He said he was ready to fight anyway. So when he got the opportunity, straight in.
11.5 pounds.
16-11.5. That is significantly lighter than he has been in some of his previous fights most recently. By quite a bit.
That's a good weight. That's a good weight for a heavyweight because you're active. You're not heavy. You know, you're active. You've got speed. He'll have speed and he'll have movement, and it's a comfortable 16 stone because he doesn't look flabby at all.
Champion of the world.
Here we go then.
The fighting pride of the United Kingdom, AJ Anthony Joshua.
The man who has set the heavyweight division alight on the scales. And let's see what the verdict is.
18 stone, 2 pounds.
18 stone 2. Now that is the heaviest Anthony Joshua has ever weighed for a heavyweight professional fight. 17-12 was his previous highest weight. 18-2, Carl. What do you make of that?
Well, we're talking about him coming in lighter and looking sharper on the pads and maybe losing a stone.
What do we know?
Because he flagged down the straight in the last fight. Don't forget, he got hurt by Klitschko, and that tired him out, then he recovered. So he can do the 12 rounds, but he's coming bigger and heavier. You know what? He's probably putting on more muscle bulk because he's got no body fat. Look how ripped he looks. He looks like a ripped weightlifter, which isn't ideal, but he can perform in that unit of a body. So do we worry about that? Do we not worry? I'm not so sure. I mean, he looks great and he can perform. So that extra weight, going to give him that extra strength. He does the business for me.
So one last look into the eyes, and the pair of them holding hands at the moment, shaking hands. There's been great respect between the pair of them. Anthony Joshua, very respectful towards Carlos Takam for taking this fight at such short notice. And Takam, well, he's got nothing to lose. A massive opportunity for him. He was the man next in line to challenge for the IBF heavyweight title. And as I say, nice to see the pair of them having respect for each other as they went into the face-off.
Both fighters looking great condition. Carlos Takam looks like a confident young man there, stood in front of Anthony Joshua. Not a flicker of nerves at all. I believe he's coming and he's going to give it his best. He's going to give it his best shot. And I just think when this fight kicks off, I actually think it'll be toe-to-toe for about 4 rounds. That's what I think is going to happen, because these guys, Takam knows he's got to get up close and personal, and AJ actually likes fighting in tight and in close. So I think this fight will be better than the Pulev fight.
Shocks do occasionally happen in heavyweight boxing, heavyweights in particular. But we can't imagine anything like that happening tomorrow night, can we?
We hope not. We hope not. But these things do happen, and that's our game. That's the game we're in. And when you bring the opponent in at the last minute, that's the scary thing, because Anthony Joshua's not had time to mentally prepare and adjust his game plan for Takam. He set up a 12-week training camp for Pulev. That's what he's worked at. Now he's got a man that boxes completely different. So to take this guy out, he's now going to be thinking about throwing uppercuts, working him down, leaning down. He's almost a stone and a half heavier than him, but he's got to work on him. He's got to use his weight, he's got to use his speed, he's got to use his youth, because if he underestimates him, this could be a banana skin. We've seen it before.
And Carl, he needs to look good in this fight, because obviously he wants to send a message to the other big names out there, including those who have titles at the moment, Joseph Parker and Deontay Wilder.
Well, they're the two big ones. They're the other two title holders, WBO and WBC respectively. Deontay Wilder's the man on everybody's lips, because, you know, we think Joshua can beat Deontay Wilder. We all think that, but is he ready for him right now? He's still learning. This is his 20th fight. Deontay Wilder is very game and can punch very, very hard. And we saw Josh climb off the floor in his last fight. What would happen if Deontay Wilder was in front of him, landing them same shots? We're not 100% convinced. I don't think his team are. So that's a fight that will happen, but we're just not sure when.
OK, let's hear from the man himself on the stage with Andy Scott.
Anthony, all smiles. Just how confident are you ahead of tomorrow night?
You know, confident within myself, but never too overconfident, because we've got a live opponent, and I think too much confidence can become a little bit cocky, and I think that's when people can make mistakes, and I don't want to make any mistakes yet.
Career heaviest weight of 18 stone 2 pounds. What does that tell us about your preparation?
I was reading everywhere that I'm going to come in a stone lighter and all that stuff.
You can thank your promoter Eddie Hearn for that tip.
I've been starving myself. But I don't know what it is. But I've been doing a lot more running. Maybe I'm starting to fill out as I get older. I'm starting to find my natural weight and stuff. So who knows what it is, but I definitely feel a lot fitter than I have in previous fights.
Great reception for you in here today. Just what sort of ovation are you prepared for tomorrow? Any nerves in there?
Always. Nerves are good things though. Pressure don't bust pipes, you know. I've got to keep my cool head on my shoulders, but I didn't expect like a great turnout like this, so I definitely appreciate everyone that's come out, honestly. I definitely do. Thank you very much.
What sort of fight, style-wise, are we expecting against Carlos Takam?
What do they say, knockout? I think he's got a mindset where he's got nothing to lose. That's what the face-off is about. You're reading your opponent. He came in, grabbed my hand, and it was a bit of one of those ones when it was trying to see who's got the stronger handshake and all that stuff. But I think he's got the mindset where he's got nothing to lose, and that's a dangerous mindset, but I've got to deal with these type of styles in sparring, in the gym, day in, day out, so I've got to find a way to break him down, and that confidence that he's got is kind of break him down round by round.
What about your mindset? You've got those belts, but have you still got that underdog challenger mentality?
100%. Hashtag stay hungry. It's true, I'm hungry still, forever and forever. That's just the way of life, right? It's not just in boxing. People out in jobs or whatever they're doing, everyone's hungry to succeed in whatever they're doing.
What have you and your coach, Robert McCracken, gone away and worked on after the Vladimir Klitschko fight?
It's little things like, you can be on a defensive but still conserving energy. With Vladimir, it was a really intense fight from the first bell to the last. It was really intense, so it's just knowing my positioning in the ring, if someone's not punching, knowing how to take a step off and being comfortable even when I'm not attacking, because I'm quite aggressive, so I'm really good attacking, so he's helped me relax when I'm on the back foot as well. So that just breeds confidence, knowing how to slip shots, parry shots, and it's just a developing fighter, so they're the things that we've worked on.
He looked in good shape there. Just how wary have you got to be of him?
Yeah, I was impressed. How wary have I got to be of him? As I said, like every other fight. But the outcome remains the same. I'm not going to be in here saying I'm going to knock him out, I'm going to do this, I'm going to smash him up and all these type of things. But that's what I have to do. You know what I mean? And he looks in great shape. So I just know that it takes time. When someone's fit, you can keep on hitting them, keep on hitting them and keep on hitting them. And they just don't go anywhere because their level of conditioning. And as I said, even though he was called in on 12 days, he was preparing for a fight November the 4th. So he was already in condition. And he looks like someone who kind of trains all year round anyway. You don't look like he takes his foot off the gas. So I just know he's going to start really fast. And if he doesn't, I'm going to have to deal with someone who starts a bit slower. So I could tell you a million things of what I think he's going to do, but only he knows. And like me and my team and my corner have to find a way to kind of operate and break him down.
Last one from me. Have you got a message for everyone watching live and everyone in the arena here?
This is what we want to hear Saturday night, you know, from the get-go. I don't know what time everyone's planning on getting there, but get there safe. And as I always mention, from the undercard and fighters that are fighting on the show as well, I just want to hear as much noise for them because they're making it what it is as well. This is British boxing, and we're just all taking part right now. And can we get a big cheer for Eddie Hearn, please?
You can't have everything. Thanks for talking to us.